Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today, what I wanted to do is to take the Juggernaut Cyclone build that I'm recommending and demonstrate how it works with reasonably high-end gear. This is not extraordinarily high-end gear, I'm still using a 5-link armor piece here, but I'm using that alongside a number of reasonably powerful mods, so reasonably good life on this. Socketed attacks have minus 15 to mana cost, but most importantly, I've got the core unique items of the build. 2 copies of Nebulochs Unique Mace, and 2 copies of Calm's Way. I'm going to be taking this against this Ghastly Abode, Pit of the Chimera map that has Ellie Weakness, Monster Life, Monster Projectiles, Beyond, and Monsters Can't Be Stunned. Now this is not a DPS terror, this character, but it is solid. It has serviceable damage, and it is durable. So you can see here that the monsters are taking a little while to kill. I'm not using flasks at the moment, but when I do, they go down a bit faster. One thing I will point out at this point is that it is time to set up your loot filters for League start. So again, monsters are dying in a serviceable but slow pace. I will point out that my gems are not all fully leveled, as I've just taken this in standard and I'm using what I had available to me, which is not actually what you would have when you're perhaps taking on tier 16 maps yourself. This is a tanky rare, and he is taking a while to beat down. It's more this build is about surviving, it's not about being a paragon of damage. I have Berserk as a button that I can push when I want to just deal a lot of damage at once. So I've just hit Berserk, and this will cause monsters to take much more damage. I'll get lots of added extra physical, and I'll be able to bring these down quicker as a consequence. Berserk has now expired, and I'll put one up for this Beyond boss. I also have Ancestral Warchief Totem as a source of extra damage. One of those skills that really does speed up your kills on bosses. So Slow and Steady is the name of the game. This character is brick tanked. It's not dying to many things at all, and you can certainly get it even tankier than it is now. It's durable, and it will survive well even in quite deep delves. One thing that is very useful is the ability to hit Molten Shell to both absorb a lot of damage, it's almost like a preemptive life flask, and also to deal retributive damage when the shield explodes. This is a really useful bonus, and I would suggest even getting the Val version of it as well at some point. The Val version is tremendous defensively, and also serviceable offensively as well. Although the reason you equip it is because of the life it prevents you from losing. The extra damage that it deals is always welcome. You'll notice here that once I kill one enemy, Herald of Ash triggers and causes other nearby enemies to take a lot of damage. I really should stop picking up those things. As Cyclone continues to level, your character will deal more damage, but even at the top end, you're not dealing staggering amounts or anything close to it. When I take a hit, Nebulochs causes me to take damage over time for a period. However, I've got so much regeneration that I can just endure that entirely. Even though the retributive damage is pretty significant, it's 3,600 fire damage per second that I'm taking before mitigations. And that's from Nebulochs drawback. As long as you just keep hitting things, you'll be fine. Here's Berserk, and you'll see that damage will just go up extraordinarily much during the period that you've got your maximum rage usage. Then as the rage starts to fade, your damage bonus will stop. and you'll end up being able to rebuild that over time. Berserk is a very powerful skill, and I highly recommend using it as a utility. It's something that you won't use all the time, you won't use it in every pack, but when you use it, it's really impactful. Use it if you're in danger, and also use it if you are taking taking too long to kill a pack of monsters. By virtue of being Cyclone, you've got the ability to dodge out of particularly dangerous attacks while still staying close to and damaging enemies. Practice that and use it. You can often keep ducking around an enemy in such a way that they can't hit you. We're back to 50 rage, which means Berserk will be good again. And then we'll engage the Chimera in a sec. Ooh, I better get him this time because I didn't bring any Town Portal Scrolls with me. I'm out of practice with this build, but why don't I just tank some of the things you're not meant to tank? Gives you a bit of a sense of the durability of the character. That was through Molten Shell, so I'll do it again without Molten Shell this time. Let him hit me without Molten Shell, and I'm just regenerating through that. This isn't particularly mean in the way of extra damage mods. The Chimera can certainly do more damage than that, but he's just a laughing stock at the moment. I'm a lot more concerned about these Chaos Spitters, to be honest, than I am about the boss. The fact that this character is so durable means that it is a serviceable choice for hardcore. It's a little bit difficult in solo self-found at the moment to predict how rare the Nebuloch unique mace is going to be. You know how to get it, it comes from the Elder, but the Elder encounter is fairly rare, and so you'll just need to factor in that if you're intending to play this, it'll be a long time until you get the full power. Nebuloch is very much a weapon that you want to dual wield as well. Each one of them gives the other one extra fire damage, so it really does add up having two. Now at this point we'll have the phase that can be particularly obnoxious on the Chimera if you are playing a squishy build, where the Chimera... Oh, no, we seem to have skipped the smoke phase. Okay, it'll happen again. Smoke phase is great with Molten Shell though. You can just pop your Molten Shell and it'll protect you from most of the damage. You've got life flasks in case things go wrong. And again, slow but steady wins the race there. This build is a turtle. It's brick tanked like mad. This build is also tried and tested in deep delves. You may need to make some gearing changes past about depth 400 or 500 to keep dealing enough damage to progress, but you will get there. You will kill things slowly but surely. Additionally, the Juggernaut Ascendancy gives you options that render you immune to some of the nastiest mechanics in the game, which are things that slow down your character's action speed and movement. Because one of the things I say a lot on this channel is that movement speed is one of the best defenses in the game, because not getting hit, if you're not being hit by enemies, if you're physically dodging them, then the amount of damage that they do doesn't matter. Here we are in the smoke phase, and you'll see I'm just taking it at a nice and leisurely pace. Why don't we go for a slow walk over here? Oh, there he is. Pop my Molten Shell up again. Let the Chimera actually beat on me a little bit. Not because I need the defense that Molten Shell provides, but because it gives some retributive damage. Now at this point I'm going to hit Berserk and burst him down a bit faster. Oh, hang on. Oh, completely forgot about this ad phase. Oh well, that was a waste of a Berserk. But because the DPS is slow enough, I will regain my full rage charges. So, why should you consider playing this build? Consider playing this build if you want something that is good to go against unknown bosses. Because the build is so defensive, it's able to tank a lot of big hits from enemies and lets you make big mistakes without necessarily paying for them. It's particularly good in hardcore if you're going up against unknown bosses, which is an extremely tense time. Just being able to pop Molten Shell and know that you're in for a tremendous, that you're got a tremendous amount of defense from it, is an absolute godsend. The reason not to pick this character is if you want to be a fast clearing character, then this is not the one to be. You do have fast movement, and that's granted by your the attack speed that comes from being a Juggernaut, in addition to Leap Slam. Leap Slam is great. If you never played with Leap Slam, definitely give it a go because it's fun. And that is what a Chimera map looks like on this character. So as you can see, it's no paragon of clear speed or of DPS, but it gets the job done. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, I'll leave it there. I hope you have a good one. The video with the guide of this build will be posted separately.